All right, all right, all right. Welcome to Pain to Purpose on Status Network Live TV. I am so excited about this show today because we have some amazing guests that's in the studio. Listen, guys, the topic today is so awesome. I am so excited about this topic, and I want you guys to, tune in with us, give us some feedback. Make sure you call into the show. The topic is taking off the mask but leaving on the costume. How about that? Because, a lot of times we take off our mask,
yes,
but we also leave on our costume. So really we haven't made no changes. We just taking it off a little bit at a time, you know what I'm saying? But still hiding behind we really are or whatever. Yep. What's the agenda behind that? So those are the topics that we're going to talk about today. And we may even throw in another topic that I was thinking about, guys. Men. What was it when coming down the road? Anyway, it'll come back to me. So today I have the lovely Miss Sina Holloway and Miss Ebony Byrd in the studio with me.
Hello,
and I am so excited to have them here. But before we get started, I do want to do my thank yous to both of you young ladies, as well as Miss Charlotta from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Thank you so much for tuning in via Zoom. We are excited about this.
Yes.
If you are interested in calling into the show, which we hope so, call in to 470-251-4343. 470-251-4343. And before I forget, let me tell y'all about this amazing mixer that Status Network is hosting on Sunday. Hear me, Sunday, January the 13th, 2019 at 4 o'clock to 7 p.m. Status Network will be hosting a media mixer, guys. So all of you are welcome. Come out. 777 Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia. Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia. 777 Cleveland Avenue. Vendors are welcome. If you would like to be a vendor, make sure that you call the number 770-299-3899. 770-299-3899. It's going to be a mixer hosted by Status Network. So y'all don't want to miss it. Make sure you get involved in it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I am Tangi Roseborough. I'm the host of the Pain to Purpose talk show on Lyve TV via Status Network. I have been doing this now for a little over 2 years, I think. I think it's been 2 years. Oh, my God. How about that?
Yeah,
I've met some amazing people.
Lord.
But at this time, I want you guys, one of you, to go first and just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you have going on, and, whatever it is that you want to share. But don't go too deep, though, because we want to keep it, for the show.
Right. Amen. Well, my name is Ebony Byrd, and I'm currently an elder at Kingdom New Life. And I've worked at Spymart Regional in the OR for 22 years. And through a current crisis and situation, I had transitioned out of that. And I'm working with 3D Ministry, which is a ministry I have to edify, empower, and exalt women in dealing in crisis. And I also worked in chaplaincy for 3 years. But I'm just currently working with women in ministry.
Okay.
Amen.
Awesome. Well, it is my pleasure to have you here on Pain to Purpose show. Thank you so much for traveling from South Carolina to be here. All right, who do we have with us, ma'am?
My name is Sina Holloway. I've been doing hair for 15 years. I am a single mother of 3. I'm currently enrolled in school, going to school for nursing, and also I work with the 3D ministry as doing hair, giving back. So that's basically what I can say. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, awesome. So we have Miss Charlotta from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we're just going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Charlotta. I go by Charlotta Labs because I love to laugh. I do comedy. I am so honored to be here. Thank you, Tangi, for having me. I'd like to send condolences to everyone that has lost someone this year. There was a couple ladies that, we were supposed to be on the show together earlier. One of the ladies lost a couple people in our family. I lost family members as well. So big condolences I'm sending to everyone. Let me ask you something, Tangi, because I have a grandbaby that's deaf and she's watching. Is this closed captioned, or can it be closed captioned?
No, not right now. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right. She can read lips.
Maybe in the future, though.
Amen. She can read lips. So shout out to my grandbaby, Nana Gilliam. Let's see. I like to send shout outs to people that they really got me here, because I come from a drug addicted background. As a matter of fact, in 2 days I'll celebrate 6 years from freedom of bondage or drug addiction. So I'm so
awesome. That's awesome. Yes.
And a big shout out, this is gonna sound real crazy, but a big shout out to Bishop Marvin Sapp, because I had given up on church and church folks and altogether just church period.
Right.
Because I just felt like church folks were fake. And for the most part, they are. There's a big difference, a vast difference between Christians and church folks. And I had given up on church folks.
Right.
So, Resurrection Sunday this year, for some kind of way, Bishop Marvin Sapp's service came online. I didn't even know he was a bishop. I knew he was a singer, but I didn't know he was a bishop. But his message changed my life, and it made me really want to start living. So I just showed up for my life this year, y'all.
Awesome.
I'm excited about that. Big old shout out to my son, soon to be Captain Justin Duke for the United States Army, because he threw me a lifeline in September. I was contemplating suicide, and he threw me a lifeline, and so big shout out to my son. So
wow, amazing.
That's my story, and that's my introduction.
Well, amazing. And as I've told these two beautiful ladies right here, that it is an honor and a pleasure to have you as a guest on the show. So thank you so much for tuning in all the way from North Carolina. Yes. Hopefully one day I'll be able to get you here in Atlanta, Georgia, to come into the studio to share your story, because you do have an amazing story that I think and I know that can help change the lives of the people from, the things that they have gone through, that you have endured and have come out of. So, kudos to you for that. So at this time, we're just going to go ahead and get started. Listen, guys, if you are tuned in, make sure you write this number down, because we want to hear from you. 470-251-4343. Today we're talking about the topic of taking off the mask but leaving on the costume. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I just want you guys to jump in. Don't wait on me to say, what do you think about this or whatever. Just jump in, because we're going to flow like that, okay?
All right.
We're just going to flow like that.
That's right.
So how I came up with this topic, I was at my Women of Strength event that I just held here in Atlanta, and one of the ladies, Miss Robin Shockley, when she got up, she was like, she was one of the ones who had on the mask, but when she took the mask off, she still had on her costume, and that just resonated in my spirit. I'm like, wow, that sounds like a lot of people that I know, including me, because sometimes we do that. You know what I'm saying? We take off the mask so that people can see our face, but yet we still hiding behind what's really going on, those dark places, those dark secrets. So I thought that was an amazing topic to talk about. And that can be from a standpoint of your family, your friends, your relationships, hiding behind the costume. So when does that costume come off? What do y'all think about that?
Well, I think it takes getting out of pseudo community, a false community. You got to be true with yourself.
Right.
If we're not willing to talk about our underlying issues, we always going to cover up something.
Yes.
So I think that's what it stemmed with, the underlying issue. When did it happen? Where did it happen?
Wow.
You know, if a person is an alcoholic, if they can't say, my name is such and such and I'm an alcoholic, I have this addiction, they're never going to go to AA. They're never going to go to Al-Anon. So we have to be real with ourselves,
right,
and evaluate ourselves first of all.
Right. And I think that's true. But sometimes, Ebony, people are afraid to even be true to who they are because it may expose something that they didn't even want to know or find out, that they already know what's going on. So they stay hidden behind that costume, even though they have taken off the mask to us out front to let us think that they have changed or they have overcome this particular thing or whatever. But yet, because of what's still going on behind closed doors and those secrets, sometimes we become even afraid, and I say we because I have found myself in that place before. We become afraid to step out from behind the mask to really show who we really are.
That also could be your pride issues too.
Okay, okay. So pride does have a lot to do with it. And I'll just say, like, for instance, a situation happened with my fiance and I, and we had built up this following of being looked at as the power couple. Everybody loved me and Jermaine. Jermaine and Tandy they was the power couple. And then something happened. People would inbox me and say, I love your life. I love the way you and Jermaine a relationship is. It made me want to have a relationship like y'all. And in my mind, I'm thinking, y'all don't know the hell that I go through.
You better say so.
You know what I'm saying?
That's because they looking at the outside.
That's
and
right.
Not the inside. The inside could be hurt, could be damaged, could be destroyed. But if you're looking at the outside, you really don't know what I'm going through on the inside.
Right. That's right. And so with that being said, Ebony and Sina and Charlotta, what I did, I hibernated behind my costume. I took off the mask because I let people know what was going on somewhat, but then I couldn't let everything out because then I was looking at me as a failure. Like, I got all these people looking at us like we this strong couple and we don't go through nothing when we were going through a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I hid that so that I didn't bring embarrassment on me. So that's what I mean, taking off the costume. Yeah, you told us y'all going through something, but you still hadn't put it all out there because you still hiding behind who you really are and what's really going on.
Well, Tange, it's easy to give a part of a testimony. It's easy to say, I am a living testimony.
Right.
It's easy to speak on something that you came through 10 years ago. But what I found out in myself, what you're currently in and what you currently experiencing, you know, that's where we keep on that part. I'm good because most people know about this, but I don't want to tell that inner thing. I don't want to go back to where it happened because I have to deal with the real issue and then go back to that pseudo community and dealing with where I'm at. Because at a certain time, when you pass that and you still speaking on that right there, what are you going through now?
Right.
How you going to get over now? What's the steps that going to get you to fullness? And when we hold stuff in and it get bogged down, it's going to come out somewhere passively.
It's going to come out.
You can hold on to it.
It's going to come out. But you know what, though, guys? And I'm not trying to overshadow this, the topic, and I want y'all to jump in. But what I learned is by me coming out and exposing what was really going on between Jermaine and I, for real, it helped not only other people, but it helped us too. Because guess what? Those walls came down. Then he knew what was expected from me, and I knew what was expected from him. But prior to that, we was in this bubble because we was focusing on living this life that was pleasing not just to us, but to the people that we had embraced in our relationship. So that wall had to come tumbling down because even though it was true to us, it was still a lie somewhat because we would not have been going through what we were going through had it not been true. You know what I'm saying? No truth behind it. So, you know, that's where we are. We're taking off the mask and keeping on the costume, you know.
Regardless of what you say and how you do it, sometimes you have to take that off the strip to help other people because there's a purpose.
Yes, yes, girl, you better say it. So what about you? When have it been a time, Carlotta, that you have had to that you took off your mask but you kept on your costume. And I know that you always talking about Marvin Sapp. You married to Marvin Sapp. All that good stuff. So what about you? What was it when you took off your mask, but you still hid behind your costume?
Well, a lot of that, Tangi, came from the guilt and the shame that I dealt with drug addiction. Because when I medicated, my life. I had quit school in the 11th grade because I had gotten pregnant. And then I had a miscarriage. And the day that I had the miscarriage, he wasn't at the hospital with me because he was with another woman. And I felt I didn't know my self-worth. I came from I wrote a book. It's in the editing process now. It's called Incest: What Really Goes On Behind Closed Doors.
Woo! Yes, Lord.
Yeah, and so it's going to drop in 2019. I'm trying to get it to drop. I'm hoping it drops by February, at least by Valentine's Day. That's the target date that they're giving me.
Okay.
But, what it is I'm talking about issues and stuff like that. Me personally, I didn't know my self-worth. As a child, I was a victim. I was a victim of child molestation. I was a victim of incest. I was a victim of abandonment, abuse, and all these other issues, neglect, And so I went from, I spent a whole lot of my years as a victim. And now, at my 39 years of living,
all right, okay, 39 years.
That's right, 39 with like 12, 13, 20-some years of experience. But anyway, I went from a victim to a voice. And so now I'm going to speak up on behalf of the little girls that are allowed to sit on men's laps.
Okay. Give us 1 second. We have a call.
Okay.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for calling into the Paint a Purpose show, where our topic is taking off the mask but leaving on the costume. We would like to hear from you today. What's yours?
Good morning, Tangi.
Hi, can you cut your volume down a little bit in the back?
Yes, ma'am, I sure can. How are you ladies doing today?
We're doing fine. And who do we have the pleasure of speaking with?
This is Miss Regina Lukey Warren. I was formerly on your show about a year ago.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
I'm well. I can't complain.
Awesome. So you want to speak on the topic?
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to say a few things in regards to what y'all talking about today.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Why is it that we always concerned and worried about what people going to think of us?
There you go.
When God said we are overcomers by our testimony in the blood of the Lamb. So truthfully, our healing process starts when we can stand up and truthfully admit where we at in life in regards to what somebody may think about us.
Right.
Because what they think is not going to determine our destiny.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. But you know what? But you know what, Miss Regina, it's because we're still we only took off part of the costume, so we haven't come full force out with it.
Amen.
And that's what I think.
And His scripture also say, "Come as you are."
Yeah, that's right.
And we have to know who we are in order to present ourselves as who we are.
That's right. That's
right. I was homeless for a long time, and I was afraid to tell anybody because my status, because of what people knew me by from the past. So I was mingling with people of status, and I was homeless, and they didn't even know. But until I started opening up and really telling people, and they still didn't believe me.
Wow.
But you had to tell it. You had to let it be known so other people can start coming out of their shells. Because
that's right.
Books can be very deceiving.
That's right.
That's
right.
And just because you don't have a permanent resident, that don't mean you have to let your physical appearance go down. So people look at your physical appearance and they think that you're doing well. Right. And you could have fourth terminal cancer.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
I'm just saying that We take out the mask because we only want people to see what we want them to see.
That's right. That's exactly right. And sometimes it's easier just to take off that mask and leave on the costume, right? Right, ladies?
It is.
Yeah. And you know, and to piggyback off of what you said, Tangi, a lot of times,
reality is, how can we help people? Can we lead people to salvation when we ain't really showing them the truth?
Okay, hold on, Miss Regina. I have one of my guests speaking to your question.
Okay.
I was just saying, to piggyback off of what she said, a lot of times, I know for me, it was a baby step. I didn't want to just open up and tell everyone. The Word of God teaches us what to confess our faults one to another, that we may be healed. But that doesn't mean tell everybody everything all at once, because as I was so fragile, I was already broken. The last thing I wanted to do is expose everything that's going on inside of me or with me or in my life or in my walk on this journey. The last thing I want to do is expose everything. I'm already broken, and people are cruel.
Right.
You know, especially us color people.
Right.
We are cruel. We're not supportive of each other. We're negative towards each other. There's a lot of things. So I wasn't that quick to, I've been homeless before. You know what I mean? But I wasn't so quick to tell everybody, hey, I'm homeless. You know, because a lot of people, for the most part, especially church folks, not Christians, but church folks, they don't care. You homeless, you're standing at the bus stop, they'll drive right past you and blow their horn and keep going. You know, or you ask for a ride, they're real quick to sit there and say, oh, I'm not going that way. Or they're real quick to sit there and say, I need some gas money. I'm not talking about Christians. I'm talking about those ones that operated in that cross the road to the other side ministry.
Right.
You know, I ain't talking about the Good Samaritans. So I agree with what she's saying, but a lot of times when you're broken, you don't want to just tell everybody everything real quick.
Right. You want to respond to that?
Yeah, but deeper than that.
I agree, but as you grow in Christ, you know, you become stronger. And a whole part of what I'm trying to say is what somebody think and how they feel has nothing to do with what God's trying to do in your life.
Come on. That's right. That's right. So
once you grow into certain stages with Christ, you'll be able to open up and peel off everything.
Right.
That's right.
So I agree with what she said, and you're right. Some people take baby steps, but as long as you stay grounded in the Word of God, baby, trust me, you coming out.
That's right. We got to take baby steps. But thank you so much for calling in, Miss Regina. We're going to keep your question going. I think Prophetess Ebony has something that she want to say on it. But thank you so much. And if you want to call back in again.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
All right.
Y'all have a blessed day, ladies.
You're
too. Welcome.
Yeah, this is such an important subject with the underlying issues. One imperative thing she said was caring about what people say.
Right.
Now, by patterns in childhood, in church, and job situation, we are told to, we are patternizing to act a certain way, respond a certain way, or in home. I know I was growing up, and what happens in the house stays in the house.
Right.
Until we break those strongholds in that mentality, we are not going to be completely free with our testimony. So it go back to the root cause of things. If we're going to do this, or we're going to continue to speak out our anger and speak out of emotion.
Right.
We have to be a community, a kingdom in this world.
That's right.
We have to be our brothers and sisters' keeper.
That's
when
right.
one of us is weak, the other one got to be strong. And addressing to what you said, it's a cliche. I'm not who you call me. I am who I answer to. So
right.
It's important, who you answer to, who you say you are.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying? Talking about church folks, we take accountability for ourselves.
Amen.
Because we can't, as Christians, we can't go to bed with unforgiveness. We can't go to sleep and let that ponder on our heart.
That's right.
We don't know when the last day, so we got to pick up the pieces and move on. We can't be like that with art in our heart. God said if we won't forgive, he won't forgive us.
Absolutely.
That's right. So, y'all, listen, we're going to take a quick break right quick so that we can bring on our next guest as well. She has arrived in the building, Miss Melvennia Clark. So, we're excited to have her. So, we're going to take a quick break. Listen, everybody that is tuned in, stay tuned in to the show. Make sure that when we come back that you all are still in position to see the show and collaborate with us, on the topic of what we are talking about. And again, I'm going to put the telephone number out so that you guys can call in. This is an amazing topic. How many of you have taken off your mask but kept on your costume? Mm-hmm. How many of you have done that? We want to hear from you. 470-251-4343. Oh, okay. We're not going to take a break now. We're going to keep it going. Miss Melvennia, we definitely want you to participate in the show. Thank you so much for coming. And I was worried about you because I know that you are a woman of your word. So thank you so much. So the topic is taking off the mask but leaving on the costume. And I heard some of your testimony at my event. And we just want to get your intake on what you feel from that topic. And make sure you hold the microphone to your mouth so we can hear you.
Okay. My take on taking off the mask. For me, I endured a lot of trials and tribulations in my life, and I found that dealing with hurt people, you'll be hurt.
Right.
Yes.
And so if they have not went through that process of healing and owning what it is and who it is they are in order to move forward. So I had to surround myself with the Word of God,
right,
and people who were going through what I was going through, but not just going through what I was going through, but owning up to what it is that they were dealing with and accepting who they are. And when I say that, for me, I was afraid to, tell people I was homeless.
Right. Okay, so we're going to jump back into that after we take this call, okay? Good morning. Thank you for calling into the Pain to Purpose Talk Show on Lyve TV with Tangi Roseboro. Whom do we have the pleasure of speaking with?
My name is Venetia Bradford.
Hi, Miss Venetia. Thank you for calling in. Do you want to you would like to speak on the topic? Go ahead.
Well, I just called in. I didn't get to listen to it yet to hear what's going on. I'm just calling in.
Okay, so the topic of the show is taking off the mask but leaving on the costume, and that just simply means people taking off or portraying that they have changed from one way, but yet still doing the same thing without changing out of the whole costume, or either not coming forefront, with who they really are. So that's pretty much what we're talking about.
Okay. So I guess I've had a lot of experience with that I'm from Minnesota.
Okay, thank you for calling.
You're welcome. And I moved down here with my daughters as a single mom 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And we came with a plan that, pretty much kind of fell through. And the girls had a few friends that had parents, that decided to allow us to come in, like single moms who as well decided to let us come in and, kind of shared their stories and said they kind of had the same similarities and wanted to have the opportunity to help us out, and just really felt like, I was a good person and wanted to give us the opportunity to come in and help out like that, and I kind of had that same experience because. So
where are you right now in that experience that you experienced? Where are you now? Like, what are you doing?
Now we're kind of we are not necessarily, we're out of the having to live from place to place with different people, but we're still trying to kind of find our way, and I found better housing, but we're still living with people, so, you know, we're still trying to get through that, but I got a different job now, and, you know, it's a lot better from 3 years ago.
Right. Well, that's good. So you have seen progress from 3 years, and you did not give up in the midst of it, so that's good as well. Would you like to speak to her?
Yes. Is there ever a time in your life that you felt as if you had took the mask off about a situation and kept on the costume? Is there ever a time?
Yeah, I would say there's a time that, you know, I thought I was taking the mask off. It kept on the costume.
And what happened?
I think for me it was more like, you know, not in a bad way to where, you know, I said one thing and then I kept the costume on and things were going to change. But I think with me, I just trying to thinking I'm going to take the mask off and trying to make a change and trying to stay out of, you know, not fall into negative energy and not fall into people who are not necessarily out there trying to do what's best for us. I think I tried to just be someone who I wasn't, just because of us being in situations and trying to make the change and trying to,
right,
you know, further our situation. And it just, you know, it didn't work for me to do that because that really wasn't who I was. And I was just trying to, I felt like my back was against the wall and I had to do what I had to do to change the situation.
Right.
Okay. It's hard trying to be someone else. You know, I say all the time, I can be a C piano player, but I'm a A speaker. I can A in the spoken word. It's hard to be someone else. It's best to just be yourself. Be comfortable in your own skin and stay in your own lane, whether it's hurt or pain. When we go through life trying to change things for people, we keep trying to change, whether it's relationship. Well, he don't like my hair this way, so I'm going to cut my hair short. Well, I know I don't work out, but he said, go to the gym, let me work out. Or trying to get a different job that you're not comfortable in. When we make changes for people instead of ourselves, we end up in a unhappiness. We end up in that situation. You know, it's best to be true to yourself in any situation. That goes back to our underlying issues. Why have we become so commercialized, even in our actions and emotions, what we want?
Right, right. And I commend you even this far, you know, for the progress that you have made. And even though you are still going through, you know, some of the things that you're going through, you're still pushing. You haven't given up or you haven't thrown in the towel. You're still progressing ahead. So, you know, just understand that it may not come right then and there, but God is in the midst and he is progressing you. And as long as you continue to hold on to his word and his hand, he will continue to take you where it is that you're supposed to go. And I just, you know, my encouragement to you is stay connected to people who want to see you flourish. That's right. Who want to see you prosper, you know, and link up with people that can help you carry whatever vision it is that you want to, you know, that you want to do for yourself or for your mission or whatever it is, you know, just stay the course. And, you know, and if it's something that either one of us can offer you here at this studio, we're going to give out our contact information at the end. Make sure you take it and you write it down, because this can be your starting point for, you know, the attachment to help you to reach whatever avenues it is that you are wanting to reach in your life. Because sometimes people become so selfish that they don't want to see you prosper, and they'll pray against you all along while telling you in your face that they're praying for you. So you have to be careful for, be careful for that right there. But we really appreciate you calling into the show, and I pray that you continue to tune into the show and share it with your friends if you have any that could benefit from the topic of what we're talking about. And if it's something else that's said that's on your heart that you want to say, call back into the show, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You are more than welcome. Okay, Melvennia, you can go ahead.
Is it okay if I read this? This is what
It is if you hold your mic to your mouth.
This is something that I had wrote, which I'm actually right now in the process of working on. Finally learned how to take off my mask and be comfortable in who I am.
Come on.
It took me a while.
That's all right.
But
celebration.
Yes. So imagine for just a moment a world where no one cared what car you drove, what designer handbag you carried, or what job you worked at. Can you sense the freedom? But this isn't reality because we do care. And because we care, we've developed habitual masks to please and impress others. We all wear masks. There's a good chance, too, you change your mask so habitual you don't even notice doing it. Maybe you've done it your entire life. What mask do you wear? How do you feel? The face you're portraying for the world to see. Are you truly yourself? Do you feel that you can be you no matter what social situation you're in? In your mind, gather up everyone you know and put them in a room. Friends, family, co-workers, acquaintance. Everyone is surely cautiously mingling with their masks perfectly placed. But then imagine a strong wind gust blowing off masks. It's mayhem. Faces are being exposed for maybe the first time, wrinkles and all. Now imagine that instead of this vulnerability against one another, you patted each other on the back and encouraged uniqueness and supported one another. Why are we so afraid to be authentic? Even when our mask irritates our skin, we can't relax or be ourselves. We still resist change. See, this epic performance is a huge drain on our minds, bodies, and souls. It's a hard act to constantly pretend to be or feel like you need to be someone else. Similarity, it's very draining to regular acts like you feel one way when you feel another. See, becoming authentic is a process to being knowing ourselves, to understand our own personality traits, behaviors, values, beliefs, needs, goals, and motives. It's having the courage to acknowledge our limitation and embrace our own vulnerability. You'll know when you've discovered authenticity. Because your thoughts, beliefs, and actions will originate deep from within, and they will be resist to external pressure. The result of this authenticity. I know you're not going to believe this, but I am far from perfect. I can be controlling, unfair, and I have wrinkles. And admit it, you too have a few chin hairs of your own. Life is light. Life is life. It will never be perfect, but exposing your true imperfections, self opens you up to a world of deeper meaning and supportive relationships.
That's awesome. You just summed up the whole topic. Woo! Hello, thank you for calling into the show. This is Tangie Roseberry. Whom do we have the pleasure of speaking with? Hello. So maybe they hung up, but they called back. Okay, so if you called in while she was speaking, I'm sorry. I couldn't stop her. She was flowing with that good word, y'all. And so we had to keep it going. But make sure you call back in, 470-251-4343. Melvennia, that was awesome because that's exactly how it is. You know, that's exactly how it is in life. And I had to ask the question to Facebook and everybody that's tuned in. How many times do we really change our mask? I didn't even think about that. You know, because we put on a mask for every different situation that it is so that we can, if it's a party going on over here, we put on that mask. It's something going on at home, we put on that. Girl.
And for people.
And for
people. That's right. But what gets you when you get in the room and all the people are in that room, in your circle, who you going to be then? Okay. Who's going to rise then? Then you have to talk about that bipolar, that schizophrenic condition, that situation. Am I all these people?
Wow.
You know, who you going to be then?
That's right.
So that point, Yes. Dealing with our underlying issues being true.
My God. So listen, guys, we got a few people tuned in. Thank y'all for tuning in to the show. We pray that y'all stay connected to us because this is good eating. So listen. Thank you, Gloria. Gloria Long. Hello, how are you? Calling to the show, ma'am. 470-251-4343. Miss Patsy Thompson. Maybe y'all know some of these people. Thank you for calling into the show. Everybody that's listening. Red Martin, thank you. Congratulations on you and Cassandra's wedding. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned in into the show. We love you as well. And I will make sure I keep up the good work. And then Justin Dukes said, hey, Mama, Charlotta. Courtney and Jai and I are watching, enjoying the show so far. Proud of you, Mama. Oh. And then, of course, Miss Regina, she wrote back and said, amen to the topic of what we've been discussing. And then my cousin, hey, baby cakes, Regina Shippey. Shout out to Regina in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Hello, cuz I called in. I could not hear you, but couldn't hear me. Call back in, girl. That was you. You better call back in right now. 470-251-4343. And Miss Denise Smith say, hi, Sina. So we thank you guys for, tuning into the show. But we're going to keep it going because now I want to shift a little bit and talk about how many times do we change our mask within that day with the same costume, though, without changing the same costume? So we still covering up stuff, y'all. So when does it all really come off? When can we take it all off and just be who God created us to be without, like Regina said, having to worry about what the naysayers say? You know what I'm saying? Come on, Cindy, we ain't heard from you.
Okay. Well, looking at from day-to-day basis, we changed. I can speak for myself. I can't speak for anyone else. From getting up in the morning, taking the kids to school, going to work, dealing with different people. So it's a day-to-day basis. You're talking about probably 10 to 15, 20 different masks daily.
Wow. So so my question then, the mask that we change, can we just have one? And not even have none. Can we not even have none and still be who we are without having to put on any of them? We
can be one as long as we allow it to be one and we don't create no others on the outside.
How you gonna do that though, girl? How do we create these masks?
We create them out of fear, vulnerability,
insecurity.
All these problems are one. There are different problems, many problems, but that's where all the masks are created.
Wow. So, Sina, when do you lay it down and say, I'm walking away, and you get up and you walk away from all of that? You come out of your costume and all of that, and you walk away. Hold that thought. Good morning. Thank you for calling into the Paint of Purpose Talk Show. This is Tangi. Who knew we have the pleasure of speaking with?
Kimberly Phillips. Hey, Tangi.
Hey, this is who?
This is Red, Tangi Kimberly Phillips.
Oh, hey, girl. How you doing?
I'm sitting over here with Renee, and we got you on the thing, and girl, it's so interesting.
All right.
You're telling the truth about the mask, honey. Yes, ma'am. I've been wearing mine for years. Yes, and it's hard to take it off. It's so hard. Like y'all was saying, when you in so many different, situations, and we wear so many, and I'm still wearing one, Lord.
Let me ask you this, Kim. Well, let me ask you this. What's holding you from taking it off? What is it that's holding you bound to that mask?
Tell you what I think's holding me is my grandkids, because see, I have to wear a mask for them. You know what I'm saying? Because if I take it off, I think I will fall in. I'm falling now, but just you hear my voice is shaking because I seem like if I take it off, they'll see me break, and I don't want them to see me break, and I got to be a big part of them. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, ma'am.
Wow. Well, listen, honey, we have all been there. And like I was just telling the ladies this morning, and all of us that's sitting in this studio, even Charlotta that's on via live, we all have had that mask on. And even now, Red, like I was saying when we first started the show, I have had a mask on to cover up so that other people wouldn't see the real me, you know, because we got to facade it like we got it going on, like we not going through anything. But I'm so tired of wearing this mask because it's taken away from who I really am. So what? You take off your mask and you break. So what? That's your healing. That's when your healing starts. Because as long as you hiding behind that mask, all that healing that you need is covered up right behind that mask with you.
And that's what I'm saying. I want to know how. I'm trying to learn how. I can't take it off.
Girl.
And like you said, when you get into your own space, you break.
Right.
When you get into your own space, you do break.
Okay,
and,
so listen.
Like
I got somebody here that's getting ready to tell you how to break this thing off. Her name is Miss Ebony Byrd, very prophetic woman of God. And I'm telling you, all the way down the road, she spoke into my spirit because even coming here, I was dry. My spirit was weak. But God ordained this. I didn't know this lady or seen her from a can of beans until maybe 2 weeks ago. I met them at the doctor's office where I went to go get my mammogram, and we just clicked like that. And ever since then, they have been speaking nothing but truth into my life, just breaking things that was attached to me that I wasn't strong enough to break on my own. So sometimes you have to have people in your life that's going to speak those things, that's going to call those chains to come out, that's going to call those bondages to be broken, those walls to come down, so that Kim can be who Kim is supposed to be. So you just hold on. We're going to give you 2 minutes of word, girl. Come on.
Hey Kim, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Yes.
My strategy for that is you have to get to the point that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. If you can speak on what you're in and what you're going through, the last step is getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. 1 + 1 = 2. If you're doing what you did last year and you're doing the same thing this year, 1 + 1 is never going to equal 4. You got to get sick and tired and not just be tired and say, I'm going to change. Yes. I was in an abusive relationship for years and years. And I didn't want to leave. I had 2 kids and I didn't want to leave. And it was mental abuse and it was physical abuse. But even though I was going through, everything in me said, I don't want to start over. I didn't want to start over. I got 12 years invested in us, and I don't want to start over. So I continue to stay in that thing. I could dictate when a cycle of abuse gonna come. I can have my phone close to me. I better answer this. Oh Lord, if I don't answer it at this certain time, all these steps I would have to go through. So the simple factor is you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired and get out of the process that you've been in and go ahead and get in a preparation stage, because God is preparing you. You on the show, you're talking, he is preparing you. You got to take it in so you can move forward. You cannot make the preparation stage as long as the process, because when you was in the process, you was in the fire, and he was taking things off you, and he was working with the dishes and all those things. But now you in a preparation stage. You got to take those things that are said to you that you see and laminate them on your heart so you can move forward. As he calling you forward, we have to move. When God say go, we got to say how high. You have to get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yes, ma'am.
And listen,
I do. I'm tired. I am tired, and like I said, I'm trying. I'm gonna take it off. I want to take it off. But like you said, it's so hard, and we wear so many.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, and we do. And guess what?
Me to stand, and I have stood, but
and guess
I'm standing. I'm still like in darkness, though. You know.
Well, sometimes you have to get by yourself to get to yourself. Have you ever fasted?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you have to get by yourself to get to yourself. And go on a fast. Go on a one-day fast. Well, you just seeking the Lord's face. Where you by yourself, no internet, no phones. Because if you go on that and you still connected to those things, you are responsible of protecting your eyes and your ears. Nobody else. God can be trying to get something to you, but you got too much clutter. It's times in our life we have to take spiritual laxatives. It's time that we have to let the mess out. So I speak into your life. Take that spiritual laxative and get free, and let those toxins out. Go get by yourself till you can get to yourself. Your life depends on it.
And Red, I understand that you're not in this by yourself.
No.
Either. This right here, this season going into 2019 is exactly what she said. We taking a spiritual laxative, and we getting rid of all of that stuff that has stagnated us, that's on the inside of us, that we're afraid to let go. We getting rid of all of that toxic waste, because that's what it is. And let me tell you something. You got someone right here in Gaffney, South Carolina, that you can call on anytime. I don't judge you, and what we talk about will be between you and I. I have so many opening ears to so many different people, and nobody can ever say that I went back and said anything. That's why this show is created. To give people an outlet to talk about things that's going on. And anytime you want to talk, I'm going to put my number out there. Write it down. Contact me. If it's just you want to go ride around, girl, you know me, honey. I travel. I'm from the East Coast to the West Coast.
I know. I have seen your change. That's what I'm telling you, Tangy.
Yeah.
I have seen your change, and I see God in you.
Amen.
That's
Amen.
why I'm reaching out.
Amen. Amen. Oh, honey, that's what this is about. We said today, coming down the river flow. Yeah, let it flow.
Let it flow.
Chains being broken, bondage being broken, walls coming down. We speak that in the prophetic word of God, that those walls are going to have to come down, and the enemy is going to have to take his hand off of God's people. And listen, if it's not me, you link up with somebody who can pour into you, because right now you are broken, and the enemy's job is to keep you broken. To keep you in that darkness, to make you think that you are unworthy for taking off your mask. But once you take off that mask and allow that healing to start, and guess what? Anytime healing starts, you're going to hurt first. You're going to hurt first, because it's got to be a hurt there. Right now you hurt, but once you pull that Band-Aid off, which is that mask, and you uncover that scar that you have been hiding for so long, you got to let the wind blow on it, the fresh anointing blow on that, so that it can be healed. Because if you really think about it, covering up a sore with a Band-Aid will keep that thing moist and it cannot heal. You got to take that Band-Aid off so that it can heal. You hear me? So that's what we're going to work on with you. You contact me, girl. I'm in Gaffney. I don't mind coming the way you are, and me and you will ride around Gaffney if we have to. You know what I'm saying? And we'll just keep that between us.
Miss Tangy, can I say something?
Yeah, and somebody else want to say something to you before you go. And we love you.
Yes.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Hold on.
Miss Red. Okay. Hi, my name is Melvennia, and I just wanted to share with you also, learning to love yourself is going to help you break free from a lot of stuff. I had to lose so much. I went through so much because I was betraying. I had all these masks on trying to make everybody else happy. And when I was in the process of doing that, I lost my home, my car, my children. I lost a lot of things. And it took me getting to that place of where I had to forget about everything else and cry out to God. Yes. And get a more personal, deeper relationship with God and realize who I was. And it was about making me happy, because if I wasn't happy, I couldn't make nobody else happy. And so that's where I'm at now. You know, people are going to judge you regardless of where you at and who you are. But long as you're happy with being who you are, then nothing else will matter. You will be able to walk in your calling and in your purpose. But learn to love yourself and get a deeper personal relationship with God.
Amen.
That's right.
Amen.
Now drop the mic.
We love you, girl. We love you. And if you want to call back in again, we start talking about something else that touch you, honey, call back in again. Because guess what? You have just shared that with a lot of people, and the enemy is going to be totally mad because you just exposed his tactics. And now the progress can begin to start healing Miss Kimberly Phillips.
Thank y'all.
You're welcome, baby.
Y'all keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You know, Tangy, I can relate to a lot of what that lady said, because I know for me, it was hard to take off the mask, because for so many years I had been lying to myself about who I was. And I didn't want everybody else to know well, I was a high school dropout. I had been, had 3 children by 3 different men.
So what?
I've been married multiple times. I didn't feel good enough for certain people. And I didn't want people to know all of this. You know, the very first time I got married, 2 weeks later, I found him in bed with another man.
Oh.
So I got away from that marriage. And the only reason why I married him is because I never believed in shacking up.
He was really wearing a mask. He had on a mask and 2 costumes. One of them was Jason. Honey. Woo.
That is so why, you know, it's funny that we're talking about this because I posted on Facebook this morning, the best part about being me is that you don't have to be. You know?
That's right.
That's right. I enjoy being me. The masks are gone. If I'm not good enough for you, then you're not who God got for me.
Right.
That's right.
It's real simple. And you know, I had a sister. Y'all gonna see me on TV again here shortly because in September I went on the Judge Mathis show with a sister on my father's side. And I was suing her for my father's ashes. My father died saying that this woman was not his daughter. And I believe she was my daughter. And she and I, we got along. And, you know, we got along. We didn't get along. But nevertheless, I loved her dearly. And then, so she was disrespecting, if you don't like my father or if you didn't like him, give me his ashes. First of all, you had no business signing to have him cremated before I even got there. I was his firstborn. But nevertheless, we went on the Judge Mathis show. We agreed, to go on the Judge Mathis show so I could sue her for my father's ashes, right? So we get all the way to, fly all the way out to Chicago to be on the Judge Mathis show. I'm the plaintiff. And Judge Mathis never did let me get a word in. And then she kept interrupting me. He kept allowing her to interrupt me. And then she said, well, Judge Mathis asked her if it's found out. We took a DNA test because my brother, the only brother that could have proved whether or not we were sisters, he turned 43 September the 1st, and he died at 2 o'clock in the morning, like 2 hours after his birthday. He hit a tree and died.
Wow.
So he was the only one that could prove that if we were sisters, because my dad and him were gone. Well, at this point, she says, Judge Mathis says, if the DNA test comes back and determines is that your sister, do you want her to be your sister? And she said, absolutely not. Blindsided the heck out of me. Like, whoa, where'd this come from? Because she the one contacted me in 2009, right? So I'm like, whoa. So it kind of blindsided me, but I was like, okay, amen, I'll leave it alone. Well, then she said, Your Honor, and I still believe my sister smoked crack. I'm like, what? And I couldn't believe that she said that.
That was those demons bringing up your past.
She said, I have a video. I said, that's a lie. So she gave Judge Mathis a video, which was an audio of me telling a crack story. That's what I do. I do comedy. And then I said, that's old as all get out, right? And so she said, no, that's a lie. And I said, I can take the drug test right now, baby. I passed the drug test. And she said, oh, no, drugs will be out of your system. I'm a nurse. Drugs will be out your system in 24 hours. I don't know what kind of crack people been smoking around her.
She had something for everything, didn't she? Yeah.
That little bitty thing that she said to me totally knocked me off my square. I called her so many B's, it was not funny. And I didn't even get mad about that. I told her, B, your soul go rot in hell for the lie you just told on me. And I was so mad. I wasn't really mad about the crack part because I knew I didn't smoke crack. But I got mad that my sister, my alleged sister, would say this, right? And I was so mad. I was so mad that I was knocked off my square by what people think. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I could relate how that woman feel like, dang, sometimes we don't want to take the mask off. But I didn't care nothing about the drug part. I was mad at me for being knocked off of my square, for calling my sister all out of her name. But I lost a lot of sleep because behind me being mad and angry at her. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when I got to North Carolina, you mentioned Marvin Sapp. You know, that's in my mind.
She had a full wedding, y'all.
But from listening to him, God used him to resurrect my spirit.
Right.
God used him to bring me back into the fold of God, because I was so far. Even though I had my mask of crack being off, I still had on that costume of manipulation, right, or lying about who I am, or whose I am. Well, not really whose I am, but you know who I am and where I stand in life. And I don't want you to know. I was staying in a house in Indianapolis. It's a beautiful house, but the man it didn't have no borders, so mice ran through. So I'm sitting there, and I was petrified all my life of mice, and here come these mice running through the house. But, you know, I'm posting pictures every day on Facebook of this house. You know, so I understand, but now I get it. You know, I understand how the devil knows my future. He knows my destiny. He's trying to stop it. He's trying to block it. And you know, and when Prophetess talked about unforgiveness, she hit that thing right in my heart, because for September the 26th up until she said that, I didn't forgive my sister. Why would I forgive? Because millions of people are going to see me on TV and her accusing me of crime. And then Judge Mathis going to say, your case is dismissed for perjury. How did I perjure myself? I ain't even said nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I was so mad.
Sound like Judge Mathis wanted your sister.
I didn't hear you.
Sound like he may have wanted your sister.
Well, you know what? I learned that Judge Mathis has a niece who had a baby by my brother, whose last name is Brady, and that was my sister's last name. So I don't know what Judge Mathis had going on. I used to follow him and love him and like him and all that, and then I blocked him.
Well, close the door.
I still love Judge Mathis. If I'm so mad at Judge Mathis, I could have smacked him.
Oh, God. Well,
God is good. But I said all to say that it's easy for people for Satan to use people to knock us off our square, get us focused on these little bitty things, and take our eyes off the prize that's in front of us. Yes. I get it. So if my sister watching, I know she's watching through some kind of bogus account, I want you to know I forgive you, I love you, and I really do, from the bottom of my heart. I've never stopped loving you.
And we made history because we never had nobody to do that live on Pain to Purpose. That's what it's about. Forgiveness. So thank you so much. And you're going to continue to prosper because you forgave her. For real. Because once we start forgiving people, honey, our blessings can flow. They can flow like that. But let me ask y'all this. Going to another realm of taking off the mask. We just heard her say she caught her husband in the bed with another man. Now that's a whole that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 masks on, because you know that's hard to keep up. You know what I'm saying? Unless he is portraying those type of things, you know, that he is like, you know, this right here. But I don't have nothing against nobody's, you know, thing or whatever. But okay, so how can we tell? Well, what I'm saying is I have nothing against nobody's sexuality or their preference when it comes to sexuality. I love everybody the same. Correct. You know what I'm saying? Just stay away from me and mine, and we okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I have family members that's like that. I love everybody. But my thing of it is how can we, nowadays, we don't know who is who. You know what I'm saying? So what are some of the things that we should be looking out for when we are seeking a man for a husband, because that's the overall goal, is to get married. So what would be some of the things that you say we should look out for, being that you went through that? Because, honey, I think I'd be incarcerated. That's playing with my life.
All right. First of all, it was an unequally yoked match.
Okay.
God did not send that man to me. What it was is I was living in Texas, and I was a manager at Jack in the Box, and he worked at Hobby Airport. And he used to come in every day, and you know how people flirting. So he was flirting, and I told him that I don't believe in shacking up. And so we dated. We dated for a while, and then in order to get my goods, we got to be married. That's just the way I was raised. And so so I went on and prematurely married this man. He was not of God. I wasn't serving God at the time either. But one of the things, so I'm speaking on a carnal relationship. He would ask me to do things that were not godly in the bedroom. Okay, let me just put it out there. You know, just like,
yeah. What kind of? What is that book
We ain't talking about what the Bible say the bed of marriage is undefiled. We're talking about the bed of fornication is defiled.
So
okay. Well, first of all, when you're dating, if you're already talking about sex in the beginning of your relationship, that's not of God. When they start talking things, let's do things that are unwholesome or not godly. Those are some signs when
that's what I was about to ask.
When they're real close to their male friends, and they.
But that's his homeboy. We get down like that. That's just his homeboy.
Yeah, well, when homeboy takes precedence over, when homeboy can get you out of bed at 2:00 in the morning.
Oh, I'm going with you then. What's going on?
When homeboy can get you out of bed at 2:00 in the morning, one of two things is going on. Either you're going to meet another woman or you're going to be homeboy.
Oh, Lord.
All right now. We got down.
All right.
So there were signs.
There's but you know what? Even with that, because I have a gay daughter, you can't tell. You really cannot tell. Especially when there's men out here that's on the down low. There's men in the church that are on the down low. Mm-hmm. So it definitely has to be.
So they wearing masks, and
right?
That's what we're talking about. They still hiding behind the mask.
Yeah.
And where they may have taken off the mask and hiding behind the costume, because we can see their face clear as day, and it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? Make us women draw to them because they look good. You know what I'm saying? But what's behind that mask that you are hiding that we don't know anything about until we get into that relationship? So that's why I said you can have on take off your mask and still hide behind your costume in a relationship, in your family. In whatever the situation may be, even in the pulpit, you know what I'm saying? And all of that can take place. So that's why I wanted to discuss this topic. Hello, hey G, how you doing? Call into the show. This is an interesting topic. 470-251-4343.
Well, I'm tamed. We do have a secret weapon. The Word of God says, in everything you do, ask me. The Holy Spirit job is to reveal.
That's right.
Things. I ain't talking about discernment, but the Holy Spirit job is to reveal. But are we taking the time to communicate with people?
But what if the people are not there spiritually? We all have that discernment, right? But what if we're not operating in that discernment and we're just focused on, girl, you fine, or boy, you fine. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's clouded. We ain't thinking about no discernment.
Well, we have to use that. You say, well, how? How could you tell? The only thing, somebody was praying for us when we was in the world.
Right.
So it brought us to the world. So I'm willing to believe God is such a powerful God. Whatever you want to know, it say we have not because we ask not. Sometimes we overlook things. You ever seen somebody married 3, 4, 5 times because we want the ring and don't want to be the wife, or we want the situation. So sometimes we overlook signs and symptoms.
Overlook
signs of abuse because we want want it so bad, or we want this thing. It's not always I didn't know. Because if you go back and look over your life, most of the things we did, it was our choice. It was our decision.
Because he gives us
sometimes we just got to make good choices.
Wise decisions.
The prodigal son went out and went to his dad and said, I want everything, all my shares, I want everything. And he went out. It wasn't God's fault. It wasn't the devil's fault. It wasn't his father's fault. He had another brother that stayed there, was obedient, tended. It was a personal choice he wanted to do.
Right.
Sometimes we just make choices and we want to do things. So in that point, you know, we have to use wisdom in some things.
Yeah, you're right.
We have to profile. We have to see.
But then I guess that's why we just keep adding on to the mess.
Right.
To the mess, or either adding on to the costume. Pull out this costume.
Yeah, that's what I say. You sometimes you don't even take off the costume. You can take off an arm. You can take off the sleeve. Yeah. You can take off the sleeve right here, and then I'm free with my arms. But then we put something else back, cover it back up. So as we do that, it does not help us.
Right. Right.
You're creating a picture.
You creating something different. So now you have this part that you done left on from the last costume, and now you got something else on your arms.
Wow. Okay.
That's the cover up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, honey, I hope this is helping somebody today, because it's definitely. Jack, is it helping you? But really and truly, Regina say that's flesh, and that is the truth. That is flesh. And sometimes most time we do allow our flesh to override, you know, what we really know is going on. Good morning. Thank you for calling Paint the Purpose show on Lyve TV. Whom do we have the pleasure of speaking with?
Charlotta.
Hi, Charvis from Charleston.
Hey, how's it going?
We are fine, honey. What you got to say on this?
Well, I was calling because I was listening, and I really thought it was an interesting topic. However, I was kind of taken back a little bit.
Okay.
Because I like to think that people already know their mate or the person that they're dating as far as like bad tendencies, but for whatever reason, whether it be earning potential, sex, good looks, or whatever, we overlook those things, knowing that this individual isn't for us or isn't who God truly has intended us to be with. So I just wanted to offer that up.
So basically, the mask come in by saying that we because of the
compromise.
We compromise, and that's the mask, the compromise mask.
Well, so compromise really isn't a bad thing, right? But my point is, like, when you're dating someone or you're in that courting stage, initially, yeah, you know, they make it look pretty decent, what have you, like everything is okay. But somewhere along the line throughout that process, you begin to see signs that of things that really don't sit well with you, right? But we overlook that because, you know, him or her look good, the intimacy may be good, or potential earning power, different things of that nature we overlook. And then when a year down the line, 2 years or whatever, when things is like in a crapshoot, we wonder why, like, oh my gosh, how did I get here?
Yes.
You set yourself up for that because you already knew those things, but you chose to ignore them. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So,
and so
when you talk about like the mask and the costume stuff being on, I mean, it's always been there.
Right.
You know, whether you take the whole thing off or leave part on or what have you, you basically you start from the get-go. But you chose to overlook that nasty clown costume or mask.
Wow.
You're gonna like clowns anyway.
Right. And Sharv, I can agree with you on that, because I did that, you know, when I was, you know, and I'm not even just in the world, you know, just meeting people in general, whatever the situation may be. you know, because sometimes people have other agendas. I don't know why, but anyway, you know, you can meet somebody or whatever, whether in a relationship or whatever the situation may be, and they portray to be this one way, and that's what you see until you get further into the relationship, and then the mask start coming off side by side. One side come off, and then the next side, or either the whole mask come off, and you sitting there like me with your mouth wide open, like, where in the heck did this come from? I did not see this in the beginning. But like you said, it was signs to show something is not right. But then you hoping and praying that this person is who he say he is, or who she say she is, and then you find out that they're not, and you fell in love not with that person, but with that mask of the person, of what he had on or she had on.
Right. So can I ask you ladies a question if I may?
Maybe. No, go ahead.
So why is it that and I don't mean to be sexist with this.
Yes,
question.
you do.
Oh Lord.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Why is it that women would actually get into a relationship knowing that they haven't actually did the work from past experiences or past letdowns or failures in previous relationships?
Insecurity.
Why are they willing to bring that excess baggage into a new situation?
Okay, they spoke. I'm good. What you say?
What was the question, Tangi?
Say it again, Sharv.
So my question is, why is it that females bring excess baggage from past relationships when, basically they haven't did the work to truly be over certain hurts or letdowns from past relationships?
Okay, we got 3 women that's ready to answer you quick, fast, and in a hurry. I hope you're ready to take your notes. Let's go. First, we got Miss Melvennia Clark.
I want to say this. It's not just women. I truly believe that the thing to taking off the mask is starting to love yourself for who you are, so that you don't have to need a man to make you feel good and look good and got this car. You don't need this car to make you look good. You have to first love yourself from within, and then you can be happy being who you are. Because it's just like this. If you go and you get this job as the CEO of a bank, and you're getting it stressing you out and it's driving you crazy, but you would rather be out there sitting behind a desk being the secretary for this corporation, and you're happy and you can operate in that. A lot of people do that because they do these things putting on for other people. They fail to love who they are and be who God has really called themselves. They fail to really learn to love themselves from the inside out. That's what I believe. And it's not a man or woman thing, because men do the same thing. That's just my opinion.
And, well, I believe the same thing, but I have fell into that boat before too. And not only that, is because we believe as human beings, it takes a man or a woman to get over another one. And it's not right. It's not right, because I've been separated for 8 months now by myself, trying to find myself and love myself. And it feels better than ever trying to do that. So just depending on how you put it and where you put it is what it is, but you have to find yourself. That's right. And I'm in that position now to doing that. And operating not only with myself, but with God.
That's right.
Right.
And one thing it's old school now. One thing is we do it because people accept it. We do it because people accept it. A person can't do no more than you allow. If you're going through that, if you've been through that, well, you're accepting it.
Right.
The question you said before you said this, for something of this nature to take place, you accepted. You was okay with it. A lot of us from past relationships in our childhoods, we think we are the fixers. We'll even do it for God. Well, God, I'll do what you say, but let me help you out a little bit. Let me go ahead and do this. I know you told me don't work and do this and don't be walk into my calling, but let me help you out a little bit. So we try to do that in a relationship, change people and fix people, and that's when we will accept stuff. Well, they ain't got but 3 things wrong with them, so I can work on them because I can make them better. No, everybody got to work on self and take accountability. 2 broken pieces do not make a whole, and they never will. If it's broke, it's broke. Right. Everybody have to get whole individually. When God say rest, take a rest, he mean rest in him. Not go sleep, take a break, moan, and come back and get into another relationship with those same issues, as you said.
Girl.
You got to rest in him to get some wholeness. So that's why it continues. But I can't do no more than you allow.
Right.
My. That's right. That's awesome. That's amazing.
That's good there. That's good there.
Yes, all of y'all.
So I know you ain't gonna allow this to come into your life. You ain't gonna be a product of that, right?
No, cause his wife, Mika ain't having that, right? Sharp.
Amen.
Don't make me tag Mika. No,
amen. Awesome question.
But thank you so much, Mr. Wood, for calling in.
Wait, Tangi.
Okay.
I know that I just want to speak on that a little bit.
Okay.
When I took baggage from a previous relationship into a new relationship, it was because, I'm not trying to justify it, I'm just explaining.
We heard that word before.
That was all I knew. That was all I knew. If I knew, if he, you know, I, like Prophet just said, it was kind of what I accepted. You know, I allowed him to mistreat me. I allowed him to talk down to me. I allowed him to tell me I was fat, or to tell me I was ugly, or call me out of my name, or you know, dish out the money to me, you know, a little bit at a time. I was an abused wife, and so when I went into when I would get into a new relationship, I automatically expected you to treat me the way he treated me, because he would treat me bad and then turn around and say, I love you. So that was what love looked like. It wasn't until I learned to love me that know that those behaviors are no longer acceptable. Right. So one reason why I know women or men, like a sister Melvennia said, is that we take excess baggage into a new relationship when that's all we know.
Wow.
Patterns.
Right. And not only that, I can speak from my own personal experience. It was suppressed. I didn't know. I thought I was over it. What had happened to me, because I had been single and celibate for 4 years prior to meeting Jermaine, you know, and I thought I was over all of that stuff because I was living the good life. You know what I'm saying? I was going on dates with myself, me and God. When I went to the movies, I'm like, come on, God. You know what I'm saying? When I go out to eat, I'm like, come on. I didn't have a man. So I thought within those 4 years that I was over it, but it was just laying dormant. And how I know that is because when the first thing that Jermaine ever did, it brought all that stuff back up. And guess what? I let him have it from everything that every man before him put me through. He got the bulk of all of that. And he took that from me because he said, I realized that I struck something that was not dead. You know what I'm saying? I struck something that was not dead. And then that came back up. And now with what happened between us, I have this blockage up between us because, you know, it was some things that happened that should not have happened. People have ulterior motives. We let them into our lives thinking that we're trying to help them. And this particular woman had a whole nother motive. She did some, what's that movie? Obsession type of
Fatal
stuff.
Attraction.
Fatal
Attraction.
Yeah, Fatal Attraction. That's what it was. She did this Fatal Attraction type stuff. And this woman had the audacity to call me to let me know that she was doing this and this and this with my fiance. I'm in the dark. And I'm thinking nobody can come and tell me anything that Jermaine does because I'm a seer. Let me see. But she knew some stuff that I know that only she could know by dealing with him. So I'm like, okay, I believe her. And make a long story short, what she came and told me was somewhat of the truth, but not all the truth. You know what I'm saying? Right. She had me thinking that they had slept together, when in reality they never slept together. And she told me this out of her own mouth. You know what I'm saying? That she was jealous of me, that she was jealous of Jermaine and our relationship. Whenever they would talk, he would always say, I love my queen. Tangi's my queen, you know. And she was jealous of that because she said she was married to a pastor that's in Charleston, South Carolina, of a big church. She didn't get that from him. And she was seeking for that love. And she was not only Jermaine, but she was trying to seek it from other men as well. She didn't care. But if he gave her that little opening to come in, and that's where I fought him at, whether he touched this woman or not, you allowed this woman to come into our relationship by trying to be there and comfort her, by inspiring her and motivating her to get out of the situation that she was in, that she took it to the point of you wanting to be with her. And she came up with this whole story that you slept with her. And she called me in the middle of the night, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, woke me up and told me this. And she used some of the stuff that I would know was true to make it sound so believable. So people are so wicked. You know what I'm saying? But now it's traction between us. We're not at that place where we was before. And I thank God that had to happen. It caused a shift in our relationship. Because as I stated earlier, we had this facade that we was the perfect relationship. Nobody seen nothing bad that Tangi and Jermaine did. But when this happened, it shook it. And it didn't just shake it for us. It shook it for the everybody. People that was following us, that looked to us. You know what I'm saying? And they like, oh my God, I wouldn't have never known this. That's because I was hiding behind a mask to make everybody else feel good. But I was hurt on the inside. So we trying to, we at this place now, we at the bottom ground again. So we trying to build back up. But like I told him, it's going to take time, because I don't care if you didn't sleep with her. You allowed her to come into our relationship. You ain't Dr. Phil. That's what I told him. You're not Dr. Phil. You're not somebody. If our relationship is broken, how in the hell you gonna help somebody else? So that's where we are with that right there. And I'm not ashamed to put it out there, because I want to be transparent with people. I want people to know that we don't have it all together. I want people to know that Tangi still hurt, that Tangi still cry, that Tangi still get vulnerable. I want people to know that I don't have it all together, because they look at me and they think I have everything all together, because they see the TV show, they see the magazine, they see me flying all over the continent. You know what I'm saying? LA, New York, Jamaica, Bahamas, all these different places. They see that. They thinking Tangi got it going on. They see me going motivating other women and men too. They see this, but they don't see that pain that's still behind, everything else that I do. So I'm glad that mask came off from both of us, because now, like I just told Red, our healing can start, And God allowed this woman, God allowed her to come in, because if not, he could have stopped it at the root, being who I am to him. You know what I'm saying? But he allowed it, because sometimes we can get so bigger than who we think we really are, and then you start believing that doggone lie. Because when people was emailing me and texting me saying, oh, I love you and Jermaine relationship, you got a perfect life, I would love to have a relationship like yours, it was boosting me up. But then when I get by myself, I'm like, what the heck? I'm living a freaking lie. This is a lie. So that's why this topic right here is healing for me as well. But I do love this man. I thank God for this man. But it's so much that's going to have to happen for us to get back to that place. First of all, God has got to intertwine. He got to mend some stuff that was broken, because I know spiritually, Jermaine is a man of God, but he's not where I am spiritually. You know what I'm saying? So to God be the glory for all things.
Sometimes he does break you down to build you up.
Amen.
So that's another thing that you have to work on. And that might be the same part why we leave on the costume and take off the mask, because we're protecting our heart. And sometimes we get upset and we get and we get heartaches, but we don't have heartbroken.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we just have to be careful, because
Right.
you got not only people are out here, but you got people ain't using the same tactics as you using.
Right.
They're using other objects and other things to get into your life.
Wow. Wow.
So listen, people, let me, we got a few people that's listening. Chanel Williams from New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey. Hey, Chanel, thank you. We appreciate you listening in. Regina Lucky, she said, human error, don't distract your love for him. Chanel said, no, there is no perfect relationship. Thank you. Oh, come on. Thank you for telling me that. And Regina said, jealousy is a very dangerous stronghold. Carmen Shanks Harper said, I love this topic. Thank you, Sherman. Carmen, we love that you are listening. And Jermaine said, I love you more. To God be the glory. Listen here. I done told you, Mr. Banks, that you can say you love me all day long, but action speaks. Now you done said it. I need to see it and feel it.
It sounds like a mandate to me. Bam, Jermaine.
Bam.
Wow. Yeah. But I believe God is such a perfect God that He'll cause a set up the things and the termites in our relationship and lives. He'll get it out. You know, we can live a life one way, but He's a God that He chastises kids. So when we get to a place, He'll get the termites out for us. But if we can make it through the test, your greatest ministry is when you pass your biggest weakness.
Come on, girl.
Your greatest ministry is when you pass your biggest weakness. Amen. So that part, when you in different seasons, God gonna work a thing and see what's left. He gonna see what's left. Joseph's brothers and sisters put him in a pit.
Put him in a pit.
Yeah. He put him in the pit. The king he was working for put him in prison. But he still got to destiny.
Right.
He still went from pain to purpose.
Amen.
Still, sometimes it take a breaking and a shaking to get to where you was at. He didn't go to sleep in unforgiveness.
Right.
When his brothers came up, he showed love. They didn't know him, but he remembered you. When you can remember your enemies and still show them love.
Come on, girl.
When you can dance on it, that's when you know. When you can pray for your enemies and say I love you and mean it, not just use the word. You know you in that place of purpose. You know you in that place of the anointing. You know things in your life can be overshadowed by the anointing that you're walking in that light. That part. So he has to do that. He gets some termites out whether we want it or not. So we might as well say out and keep on going.
Keep on going. And you better take that mask out or that costume off, or them termites keep eating you up from the inside out.
Because if you don't, he will. And that's the that's where you're at now. If you won't, he will.
He will expose.
Then he's going to say, well, still feed my sheep.
Ooh.
How faithful you are. Feed my sheep, Tangy. Still feed my
Lord.
sheep. You know, how long must you cry? Get up.
My.
Don't say, how long must you cry? A lot of times we think we can cry. Oh, God. Oh, help me. Okay, it's a point when he said, how long must you cry? Get up.
Get up.
Get up.
Get up. Okay, now get up.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So I'm glad that y'all are enjoying the show. We are definitely enjoying the show. But again, I want to read to you guys the information about Status Network Mixer. Thank you so much, Prophetess, for that word. You know what? You are blessing people. You are blessing me. And I'll tell you, I just thank God for you, because you're so unselfish with that word. And I know that you speak from the throne. And you just continue to let God speak. And you do the same, Miss Sina. God is so amazing. And you too, Miss Charlotta and Melvennia. I just met Melvennia last week for my event. And honey, we just clicked. I don't waste time trying to stay connected to good people. Jermaine said, y'all going to church up in there? We are. So but the Status Network Mixer, guys, get your pens, get your paper, write it down. If you live in Gaffney, you can ride with me. Y'all want to come back, y'all can ride with me. It's going to be Sunday, January the 13th, 2019. If you make it, amen, because we ain't there yet. But anyway, so it's going to be from 4 to 7 p.m. And it's going to be held at Status Network Studios at 777 Cleveland Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia. And if you would like to be a vendor, they are accepting vendors, and you can contact 770-299-3899.
Yes.
770-299-3899. Listen.
Vendors.
Make sure this is the information. We have it up now. This is the information about the mixer. So make sure that you come out. Show all of us some love. That's a part of the Status Network family. We'd love to see you all there. So thank you so much. I wanted to show a few of my magazines that I have published as well, to just speak on those a little bit. I am the founder and the host of the editor-in-chief of the Pain to Purpose magazine, where I allow people to be featured for free inside the magazine to share their stories. It's different topics every 3 months because they are distributed quarterly. So every 3 months I have a different magazine to come out, and it's different topics. We just did one for December, which was a special edition, and it was just for Christmas. I gave people an opportunity. Miss Charlotta is inside the magazine as well.
Congratulations.
People are able to, for Christmas, they was able to share their most funniest Christmas story, or what Christmas meant to them. And I was honored to have Sagabos, who is a part of Status Network as well. He has his show here, and he's doing some amazing things here and around Atlanta. He's modeling, he's motivating, he's acting. This dude is doing a lot. So for him to say yes to having allow me to have him on the cover of the magazine, it's up there. We don't see it on the phone though, but and on the screen, but yeah, that's for December issue. And then for my October issue, I had the lovely Miss Tina Bridges on the cover. And Tina is the owner and operator of the Lingale Agency here in Atlanta, Georgia. So she's the manager of many things.
Awesome.
She has her own modeling company for women and men age 40 and over, to show you that women and men of that age still got it going
Lord.
on. Hey. And when I tell you these women got it going on, I think the age go all the way up to maybe 80.
Look who's
smiling. She's an amazing person. She's the manager of many comedians and singers and artists, and Tina's just everywhere. You might see Tina here 1 minute, and then Tina is clean across town at another function within the next minute. I think she got wings, because that's how fast she gets out of here. But she's a great person to connect with. So we love you, Tina Bridges. And then of course I had my other issues where Jermaine and I was on the cover, and then my first issue with Miss Lisa Simpson and her husband Nathan Simpson graced my first cover, which was in January. So I'm so excited about the move of God and everything that he's doing. And if anybody is interested in being featured in my magazine, it is free of charge to be featured. Let me make this plain. It is free of charge to be featured. However, you will have to purchase a copy of the magazine, because even myself, I have to purchase a copy of the magazine. I cannot give them away free. You will have to pay for shipping, which is $3 depending on what area you are from. I ship around the world. So if you're interested in being featured in my upcoming issue for January, make sure you reach out to me to get your article featured. Miss Charnel Williams just sent me a message. She lives in Newark, New Jersey. I do a lot of things with Charnel. I've been her speaker on her women empowerment event for 2 years straight. She says she has her next theology and she needs some writers to connect with as well. So if you're on Facebook, connect with her. Her name is Charnel Williams, SharnelWilliams. She's out of Newark, New Jersey. Does amazing things. So reach out to her. This is great networking, guys. This is what we're all about. We don't want to hold everything to ourselves. We want to help other people to get out there, to get branded and everything else that they're doing.
Where do they go to purchase the magazine?
To purchase, oh, thank you for that. To purchase the magazine, you can go to Amazon.com. Just go to the book on the side where it says selection or whatever. Just check books and put my name in there, Tangie Roseboro, TANGIE ROSEBORO, and you can purchase any of my books. But I prefer you to purchase straight from me because Amazon shipping prices is so high. It is ridiculously crazy, and I don't want to wait on my royalties. So, all
right.
So, buying straight from me is, and then Amazon sell the books higher than I do. So, the magazines and the books higher than I do. I do have 5 books as well. I'm also a motivational speaker, so God is good. He's doing some amazing things. So make sure you reach out to me as well, guys.
Yes.
And let's link up and get some stuff going. My next Women of Strength Honorary Award event is going to be held in Los Angeles, California in April with me and Miss Drina Torres. So if anybody is interested in that, and I just thank you, ladies, but we ain't done yet. But I do want to give you an opportunity at this time because time go by fast. We only got 15 minutes, so I want you guys to tell us a little bit about what you have going on, how we can connect, how people can connect and find you, and if you're available for any speaking events or whatever the situation may be. This is your opportunity to sell yourself. All right, so let's go.
I'll start.
Okay.
Well, I've got I heard you say about the media mixer. If you want to be a vendor, I have a T-shirt. It's called it's a stop sign. It's for domestic violence. And it's a T-shirt and it says stop. And then domestic goes across and violence goes down. And the acronyms for violence is victims in our land endure needless crimes every day. I was a domestic battered wife for many, many years. So I'm an advocate against domestic violence. I've got that T-shirt going on, so I may get with you on that as far as that, in that mixer. As far as I also wrote another book called Trying to Get to Heaven on Hell's Highway. I'm not sure when that will be out because I'm not really finished with that one. And you can find me on YouTube under just Charlotta. I'm doing stand-up comedy now, and I'm excited about that. And also, I'm working with a lady from Atlanta that is going to produce me a professional YouTube channel, January the 7th. So right. I'll be on YouTube next year, y'all.
Amazing. Just keep pushing, baby.
Yes,
keep
yes,
pushing.
yes.
Don't
awesome.
Listen.
Thank you so much for having me on here, Tangie.
You are welcome. And just always remember, when one door closes and people tell you no, go into the moment of creating your own. That's what we have to do. We can't take no for an answer. They may say no, but you talk with God and you create your own. Amen.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much. And her name is Miss Charlotta Lyve. On Facebook. Okay. Yeah. Which one of y'all want to go next?
Okay. Hey, my name is Ebony Byrd, and I can be reached at 864-310-9858 for any speaking engagements, women empowerment. My ministry is 3D Ministry, and it's to edify, exalt, and empower women. I deal more so with people in crisis and brokenness, what they give for exhortation. Also, my email is enbird@yahoo.com. If you want to reach me via email, I'm on LinkedIn. Also, and I have a home, a 6-room home for women that's dealing with abuse. We do 2 meals a day, and it's everything. It's shared living. And if anybody interested or knows someone that's at a place where they need a place to stay, safe haven, they can contact me and I can give them the information and the qualifications about that. It's called A Place to Call Home.
Okay,
Thank
you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Okay, my name is Sina Holloway. I'm also with 3D Ministry, and I do the same thing as well with the women. If you need to contact me, you can reach me at 864-384-3012. That is 864-384-3012. I have an email also, Holloway, SHOLLOWAY 94 at sccSC.edu.
Thank you so much, Miss Sina, and both of you amazing ladies. Just keep walking in hand with God. Don't let your hand slip, and if it starts to slip, just hold on a little bit tighter, you know. And I thank you guys for riding with me to Atlanta to be featured on this amazing show. You guys have been phenomenal. I have enjoyed myself, and I pray that you guys have as well. Thank you so much. I hope it was all that you were expecting.
Amen. It was.
And anytime you want to come back, you got some juicy topics, we're going to talk about them. Because listen, even though we are men and women in the ministry, there are still real issues out in the world.
Yes, it
so
is.
we need to confront those issues and talk about those issues and keep the, you know, those things going as well. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to share with us who you are, beautiful.
My name is Melvennia Clark. I have a non-for-profit, the Shaquille Clark Foundation, that is for women and men of domestic violence in honor of my mom and sister. And then I have a youth umbrella up under there for the young men and young women in the community, as well as homelessness. And my email is clark107322@gmail.com. My webpage is sclarkfoundation.org. And I'm on Facebook.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, her name is you said Melvennia Clark. Yes. Can you spell that for them?
Yes, it's MELVENNIA. Okay. Last name CLARK.
Okay. And listen, Melvennia is best friends, are good friends with LA Pink, LaQuana, Alexander.
Yes.
And listen, y'all need to friend her on Facebook. This woman is doing some amazing things here in Atlanta, Georgia. Oh my God. They are getting ready to do a walk in the shoes of the sleep in the bags of the homeless. They getting ready to sleep outside in honor of the homeless, and I want to be a part of this so bad.
My God.
But I can't because I have other engagements. But I did tell LA Pink that and when I say LA Pink, y'all, she is LA Pink for real. Her hair and everything, and it looks amazing. But if you're in the Atlanta area, reach out to LA Pink, reach out to Melvennia, reach out to somebody to be a part of what they have going on for the homeless, to walk in the homeless shoes. We don't know what these people go through because we're not homeless. Right. We go through our own stuff that we go through, but all of us have a roof over our heads. You know what I'm saying? And even when I was homeless, I had a barn that I could sleep in and call home for a moment. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was lawnmowers and weed eaters and all the stuff inside of there, it was still home to me. I had somewhere for my children and I to lay our head. So we never slept outside in the cold. So we don't know what these homeless people go through. So touch bases with LA Pink. She's on Facebook. LA Pink or LaQuana Alexander. LaQuana Alexander, LaQuana Alexander. Reach out to her on Facebook and be a part of this movement that she has going on. And also, oh God, it was so much I wanted to say. But if you're interested,
Tangi, ask Melvennia, how can we get a copy of that poem, The Mask? That was beautiful.
Send it to you. I have it in my notes.
She'll send it. She said she'll send it to us because that was amazing.
So humble.
And also, if anybody is interested in being a guest on my talk show, Pain the Purpose Live TV show, where I and my co-host Sheikah McMars host every third Saturday of the month from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Reach out to us. Let us know. There's no topic off limit. And even though we are women of God, we still talk about real issues because there are real things that's going on in this world. Also, I want to show a clip of part of my my Women of Strength Honorary Award movement. Excuse me, of the models who came out and supported us. And the models are representing Miss Frances Renee. She's a designer here in Atlanta, Georgia. Frances is doing some amazing things with her designs. You see her everywhere. And I reached out to her about her models coming to be a part of it. And she did allow them to. And the clothes that you see them wearing are the clothes that she made. and that she sell, you know, as part of her designs.
Get her name, information.
Yes, honoraries. Okay. All right, thank you so much for tuning in to the Pain to Purpose TV show on Lyve TV via Status Network in Atlanta, Georgia. I am again your host, Miss Tangi Roseboro. I'm from Gaffney, South Carolina. Thanks to all of my guests. I'm so excited. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for being my guests today. And again, I pray that all of you have a safe trip back home. I know that you girls are riding with me, Miss Charlotta. Charlotta, thank you so much for being a guest. I see your mask.
Hey, take it out.
And Miss Melvennia, thank you so much. And you know, I just pray that God just bless you all 100-fold. And again, if anybody is interested in being featured in my magazine, let me know. All right.
You got a play coming up?
Oh, I'm gonna have to do that on the next segment. Okay. But listen, I'm writing a movie about my book, Friends, Lies, and Betrayal. So reach out to me. I'm gonna be holding a casting call real soon for my movie, Friends, Lies, and Betrayal. And if you're interested in it, just reach out to me, and I'll see about getting information to you on where the casting call is gonna be. Again, thank you, Status Network. We love you, Jack. We love you, Annette. We love you, everybody that's a part of the Status Network family. Thank you guys for allowing us to be a part of your family. We don't take it lightly, and we love you too, Sheikah, wherever you are. I pray that you're not working too hard. Kudos to my co-host, Miss Sheikah Matt Mars. You guys have a blessed day. We're out.